Hey guys, so I haven't vlogged in a while, but my rating's now 2698, which makes me 153rd on the Galaxy site. So seems an opportune time to do another vlog, to try and challenge to make it to 2700, which is a little milestone, trying to get to around 2900 to break into the top 30. I must say I haven't been playing particularly well since I last vlogged for some reason. I think possibly I've been overplaying, and it's very easy to get into a state where you just start clicking buttons instead of really focusing and thinking what's going on every move. So maybe doing this vlog may help sort of focus my attention a little bit, and we'll see how we go. So we're playing a 7-point match against must be a pretty strong player. He's 2784. First decision, so I could tidy up a little bit here and make the 9 and make one block, or make a powerful 3-point, leaving 2 blocks. I think this is better. He's got a blocking board. I've been doing some work on structures and values because I'm sort of toying with the idea of writing a book showing how the machine thinks about things, or well, the machine doesn't think, but the book would be called Thinking Like the Machine, and I basically just take tons of reference positions and stats and value and equities and percentages and write them down in a book, because it's sort of what's been helping me trying to improve. So now I think we've got a pretty trivial take, although we've got 2 on the bar and he's threatening. He's got 3 men back. Hell of a lot of work to do, level race. Forget gammon, so be it. It's amazing, it's the only number that doesn't hit, except 6 on the 5-point. Just 6, 6, 1, I think. So he hasn't touched his back checkers at all, throwed everything forward in the blitz, which has failed. Now, although I've got 1 lone straggler back, I've got a pretty good game. Not any longer. Now he has 2 choices. He can just come around the corner, or he can come out with 2 and point. He'll probably come out with 2 and point because it wins so many more gammons. And we would have had a shot at this 14 anyway. Okay, he's going to make the 5, and this is not good. Looks like we're about to get gammon. So this is something I've been looking at, is how to estimate your gammons, because often the risk reward, we give up 1 game for every 2 gammons we win is the break even, and vice versa. So I'll come back to that in a minute. Just focus here whether it's a slot or just bring down. Slotting may have been right, but it's probably not a big deal. Okay, so we're closed out. And one of the reference positions is 1 man closed out. 1 man closed out on its own is just 2 or 3% losing gammons. If we have 2 on the mid, it's 15, and then we add about 25% for each further checker. So if we have 3 on the mid, it's 35, 4 on the mid, 55. And of course, we've got some extra crossovers here. We've got another 4 crossovers. 2 of them are pretty short with 2 pips, and 1 of them with 5. But I've been kind of working around how much to add on for each crossover and how far they're at, and it's actually pretty easy to do. I might share those findings on the Galaxy forum pretty soon. It's not rocket science or anything groundbreaking, but just played around with XG loads to find sort of very memorable patterns where you don't even have to sort of have a good memory. But if you know a few things, you can just adjust them and you should get to your equity and percentages pretty quickly, pretty easily. And they just help you on the margin. Let's just turn on the auto roll here. They just help you on the margin when you've got close decisions to make. Okay, so I got Gammon just by a pip here, 4-0 down, 3 away 70, 7 away as we start this game, which is 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, so about 75, 25. Now, obviously, when we're down in the match and we need to come back, anything Gammonish is a cube, and he doesn't have any recube vig, and Gammons sort of go over the score, so we're incentivized, turn into a blitz and hope for the best. He's got nice hitting on the aces. He came in with both. Yeah, I think that's still right. So he's got spares on the 6 and 8, but he's usually when he's stacked like this, we don't want to split too much. But he doesn't have a point on board. So the question is whether to step up something like this or like this. It's got 2s and 5s to come out. We'd kind of like to duplicate that. Here they're duplicated, the 2s and 5s, just 4s. Don't think we want to anchor in case he makes a point and primes ourselves, so we could just do this. Or we can stay back completely and bring another builder down. But I think this strips the mid, and if he makes a point, it's not great. So let's go for the split here. I don't really generally like sliding a checker from 6 to 5, but we're going to try it. It's got a pretty inflexible position here. He may have to hit on the ace. This was something that came up recently. How much do you look at your opponent's plays whilst you're playing? And this came up on a forum. Oh, interesting. He didn't. Sorry, I'll come back to that point in a second. Could just bring a builder in, compact position. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. And there is actually just making them 4 point. 6 is duplicated. It does let him escape. I like this. I think we can make it naturally and not leave the shot to allow him to escape and alleviate the pressure. Yeah, so there was this discussion that I got into with some decent players on the forum who said they don't really look how their opponent plays during a match. And I understand that because they said it takes so much energy and they want to focus all their energy on their own moves. And I understand that if you're playing a big tournament, Monte Carlo or something. But when you're practicing and basically playing on Galaxy, yeah, it's a challenge and competitive because of the ranking system and so on. But really, you're just practicing. So I figure if you look at your opponent's mistakes or plays, you might learn something even. When you come to analyze it, you can analyze double the amount of number of positions in the same time. So I prefer to do that. So here, very strong forward structure. And if he rolls 6s and 5s, this game just crushes. Or we could come up with a defense, I don't know, either something like this, complete outfield control, we're not worried about getting primed. I don't like this. I think this is enough control everywhere. You know what? I like this. I think it's hard for him to prime us now. Even if he rolls a 3 or 1, we can escape with 6s and 3 something. This game can just fall apart so quickly here. If we do this, we're going to have to play behind and burn, so I think that this got to be the 6. And now the 3, we could do this and leave 2 blots. Things can go wrong. I kind of like this, it's solid, and the 1s we get lots of returns and they're duplicated. Connectivity at the back. So we'll go for this. This is working out pretty well for us so far. Exactly to sort of game plan when I decided to make the bar rather than the anchor. Putting a builder there with a 1. Okay, we give him 2-6, but he's got a busted board and a blot, so we don't care. Aha. So is it too early to trap? Making the point. He rolls a 6, what's going to happen? Unless he rolls double 6, and even then. Problem is when we get hit, he's still got a 3-point board, and I think generally it's better to trap later without leaving a shot on the edge. And I think we can make it naturally. That was a mistake. Maybe the trap play was better, looking at it now. Anyway, let's focus back where we're at. It didn't happen there, but I've also sort of been looking. Oh, let's just keep getting distracted. The question is, if we do 6-5 here, how do our 6s play next time, or our 5s, or even our 4s? We just hit. They're outside gammons. I think it's too big. I think we have an ace. It's quite interesting sometimes decisions whether how much of a race lead or level race when he's got 1 man back do you need to be in order to hit. There's tons of interesting positions which have come up from there where I've learned quite a lot when it's right to leave those 11 shots, say, or as opposed to just bear in and rely on your race lead. Is there anything clever to hit loose and try and get hit back to pick up the other one? This keeps the 6 prime. I think the game plan's too thin that he rolls a 1, not with a 3, 4, 5, we've got to hit back. Just close them out and take the game. Go 4-2. I even looked at this position. It's amazing whether this or this is better, because I was just reading Mishi's book on the endgame, and actually I'm not sure it was right there, because usually when he's got a busted board or certainly a block, it's right to play super aggressively and leave them more spread out. Anytime he's got a made board or 5-point board, say, it's better to clear the spares completely from the 6-5-4. Even not just the back, the last 2 points, but all 3 points. The back. So 3 away, 5 away, 65, 35 roughly. Match odds now, so we're 2-1 dog. I like to have a think about the scores at the start of every game, just to think about how I might construct a game plan, or the cube action, or put the checkers in a certain, play them in a certain way. Now, often you don't want to split after he's rolled a massive double, like double 5, double 6 at the beginning, because it lets him unleash. And you're behind, so the priming game favors you. I mean, I can't make the 5 point because it's just too big. I mean, that's the 2. Now, do we split? Or do we do? I mean, this doesn't really we haven't got great prime ourselves, so I think we have to do this. I mean, even though he's so far advanced, there's so many numbers where, and this is a problem with splitting, numbers like 6-5 play well for him, but if we stay back on the ace, even though he's rolled so many pips, he can still, all these 4 builders just make the 5 or 4 or even 3. We're in a prime situation. So this doesn't make for a great vlog when I spend 2 or 3 games stuck on the bar. As we get blitzed. Now when he's 3 away, 5 away, he basically never cubes these kind of positions where he wins a lot of gammons, because his gammon takes him to 6-2 to 7, 1 away, 5 away for 85% roughly match winning chances anyway. So the pickup's only 15 for winning a gammon, and he doesn't want to cube and let me recube to 4 and go 6-4 to 7, 1 away, 3 away for 75%. The cube leverage is all in my favor, so everything sort of says play on, in effect, or don't move, don't touch the cube when you're 3 away and the other guy's a long way away. Actually, it's amazing from playing a lot and studying and thinking and posting on the forum. So many of these positions came up that I posted on the forum. Actually, just this morning, a position where I was 4-0 up to 7 and actually missed the cube. It was one of those rare exceptions, because what I found was the gammons, whilst they were working my way, 4-0 up to 7, the opponent had very few gammons in his position, like 5% or something. And so, as it happens, what we're scared of when we're leading in a match is the cube coming back at us on 4. But we're not so scared when he hasn't win gammons, because if we're 4-0 up to 7, now all of a sudden it's 4 for 50% anyway. It's the gammons where he wins the match and wipes out your deficit in one go that we're worried about. So I think often I think a lot about when I'm doubling. You think as the aggressor, is it a cube or not? What percentage of games do I win? What percentage of gammons do I win? It's quite rare when you're doubling that you think, well, maybe I'm prime versus prime, but you think how many gammons are you losing? Because obviously you're the favorite when you're doubling. It's not the key feature or thing to think about in a position. Well, at least I've saved the backgammon, so we're going to get another game out of this. So we go 1 away, 5 away. Crawford we're losing, roughly 85%. And the gammon doesn't do us much good because we're on an odd number. We just want to get to an even number. Win the single game, we're 4 away, 1 gammon will win us the match. So it basically plays, well, it is a double match point at this score. 5 points clear. Make the 10 point in front of him, but that just doesn't look right. I think I'm unload the 6 now. Put him under some pressure with a decent board. Don't think we want to anchor here and sort of get ourselves primed. He's probably going to point on us here. The other plays 8 and 3, burns the checker off the 6, and leaves his checker on the 4 redundant, so I don't really like that. That's the play he's made. I wonder what's right. We'll have a look later. Another super joker for him. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to make 2,700 at this rate. Well, certainly not this match. Just cross fingers that I've outplayed him and don't lose any points this match. But I'm not sure because he's a very strong player, almost 2,800, but I haven't really spotted any mistakes or serious mistakes from him. Maybe the cube in the first game was a little bit early. But he just also a lot of the time it just depends on how the decisions pan out, what roles come up. I mean, in that he hasn't really had, doesn't feel like he's had many tough decisions to make. And some matches are like that, and other matches you have tons of humdingers. So there's a huge variance in your PR compared to your mean, your average PR, depending on the way that, not really the way the dice roll, but the decisions you're faced with. It's another form of luck, really, the PR battle luck. Not looking good now. Oh, last chance saloon, and we hit. So he's got 7 off, which makes us, with this structure, a very small favourite. We'll stay back, you never know, he might roll a 2-1. Oh, there it is. If we hit this, we go a huge favourite. Sorry, what am I talking about? You can come in on the 1 and... Sorry. Now. If he was on the 2, we don't hit because his 1s are so ugly. But now if he rolls a 1, he can just step up. But we want him playing 2, so I don't think... we certainly don't hit here. We want his 2s to play. And I think this is a elegant solution. It slots the prime when we stay back. Now, his 1s are ugly. And unfortunately, we have to run. We can't. I'm not piling up 2 on the 2 bearing in. That makes us a big dog when we try and close them out. So I think we just run. I hope he rolls a 1 or a 2. Now we hit. If we get hit back, we have a shot. Very often it's right just to close him out here instead of doing anything too fancy. It's better to focus on the distribution. But this has worked out obviously super well for us. Don't need to take any risks. Could play safe here. So my hopes look like they're alive. So we go into this match, I don't know, 78-22, roughly 25%. We've got to win 2 games or 1 double gammon. 3-1, we pick up 0.21 equity at the beginning, but he rolls with double 3 to counter. He's going to make the anchor in the 10. Now we're a small dog, but There's no reason not to double this. It's not a good opening for us because once he's got this anchor, we don't win many gammons at all. So we've got to win 2 games now, pretty much. Even if we win this game, we're going to have to win another. Okay, 3 of them are fourths, now we've got another fourth. Choice is dumping a checker on the deuce. Coming up. I think I prefer this. I mean, I'd like to stay back and challenge this here, but I really don't want to dump a checker. It's hard for him to do that much to us because he's got this blot. Even if he points, we get the shot back. Race is close. He's got an anchor we haven't. We want to get them mobilized. The first thing I do in positions like this, although I'm almost certainly not going to make this play, is just have a run and look at the race. So we're 17 up, solid. He's stuck back, but he attacks with 1s, 3s, 5s. So if we make the passive play, we're winning. And if we hit, that's the 6. Where's the 3? It's got to be this. And he hits back. He enters and hits back with any 3. Well, 1 3, 2 3, double 3, 4 3, 1 6, 2 6, 3 6. I've given up. It's almost like 18 shots. And there's no real gammons here, so I mean, does have to leave the anchor if he hits with this. Let's see, it's with a 1 6 2 5 3 4 4 6, which is 8 shots. This could be a blunder. Either way, if we do this, he points on us. I think I'm mentally flipping here, to be honest. I think I'm going to do this at this score. Could be very wrong. But I'm winning the game. I've got such a solid structure, even if he points on us. I'll look at that after. I'm very worried that could be a blunder. I mean, how tough it is to get to 2,900 on this site, or even 2,800 when a guy like this is 2,780 and he's playing, from what I can see, like brilliant backgammon. When you play a lower ranked player, you're having to give them odds every time. You know, if you don't focus or concentrate, risk reward's so poor. When you play a good player, it's really tough. And to go on the site and find someone around your level, same rate, similar ranking, 2,700. When you get up to this kind of rating, there's only 150 players on the site, so maybe about 30 around this 2,700 mark. 150 above that. There's 25,000 on the site. It's not always easy to find a competitive game. It's fun when you find one. Not that this is particularly competitive. I feel like he's outplaying me. Now, I think I've got to step up because if I stay back, he rolls a 6 or a 3, he makes the bar and primed. If I do this, it's such an ugly stack here. I've got to be brave and do it, even though he's got the stronger board. Now, all of a sudden, if he hits and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 blots, you put, it could be gammons if I hit back, even though he's got the anchor. Imagine if I pick them all up. So there's a big swing on this next roll, which went our way. So now, gammon for match, if it works. He didn't manage the second anchor. Now this is interesting. I can do a wipeout play and really go for it. It's got 3 on the bar. I know I've got to 2-point board versus his 4, but he's got 3 on the bar. He still anchors with 1. In the other place, total control, even if he anchors, difficult. Very difficult. My time's running out. I'll go for this, but I'm not at all sure. Still got 2 on the bar. Oh, that looks like gin. 4 on the bar now he's got. I think it's right to hit more because we need a gammon. 2. 2 more. 3. I don't really want to put too many on the 6 because it's a point we want to clear. So this baron isn't going particularly well. Let's try this. Didn't even need double 4. What a comeback this is to make 2,700. Might triple him for the insult. Meanwhile, we almost certainly got outplayed. That was another discussion out on the forum, whether you know during a match whether you got outplayed or not. You shouldn't, because otherwise you wouldn't make the mistakes. If you know you're making mistakes, I guess you know whether decisions are tough or not. And there you go, 8.5, pretty much a disaster for me. And as predicted, he played well. Lived up to your name, thank you. Yeah, it's true, I did. So let's see, let's go to analysis, because this is really bad. Let's play an 8.5. Let's take a look at it. At least we might learn something out of it. So I drag it in here. Analyze it world class for myself and not bother analyzing it at all for my opponent for now. The streams will go on too long if I do. So we can start. Well, let's just let it finish because it won't take long. There's going to be a lot to go through. Already we're up to 16 errors, 6 of which were blunders. Even worse on the XG analysis, 9.4. Don't ignore his 10.3 because I didn't analyze him. He played very well, believe me. Okay, so let's go through them. 4-3. Simple 16-9 was better. Tidying up. 3-1. Again, come in 16-13. 1 block winning the game. What did I do wrong here? Oh, that was just a complete oversight. I misclicked and played 13-5 instead of 11-5, so that explains part of the reason I played so badly. It happens. Let's focus on my blogging as well. Yeah, so sliding that checker it didn't like, just my duplication was false. Worrying about that, just come up to the 20. Making the forwards right. 10-4. Yeah, that's a clever play. I didn't really consider that slotting here. I'm terrified to hit. I just considered the squeeze play. This is better. I like that. So big mistake here not to. Shows you how much it hates dumping checkers on the 2 and 3 point. I guess if you get hit, you go back for the other man. That's cute. That's a really nice one. That's the kind of problem puzzle, um, where you take 2 men off volunteering the shot. Pretty amazed it's right, because it leaves you with an odd number of checkers. Usually when you take 2 off here, sorry, of course it is. Taking 2 off leaves you with 8 checkers, so it saves you a whole roll when the gammon's close. But if we look, our gammon's go up from 8 to 16, or 8 to 17%, 9% roughly extra gammons, and we only lose like 2 extra percent of games because he's got a busted board. So it just shows you, like 5 off, we're gonna have 7 off. By the time we take 2 off, we get hit. When he's got a 3-point board, we're 98% to win. I mean, even when he hits a third of the time, we're going to win majority of the time. Wow, splitting was really horrible. We said after he rolls a double 6 or double 5, not to split. I looked at making the 5 as an option, but I didn't really consider 13, 11, 6, 5. I guess the point is you're duplicating 3s and 4s so heavily, which make him great points over on his side of the board. You don't want to split when he's 20 pips up, 17 pips up in the race after the roll. Yeah, we should have done better here. But even the 5's close. A little bit surprised hitting's right here, I must say. I thought I wanted him to play a 1. I mean, if we hit and we get hit back, I see double 1 and 2-1 leaves a shot automatic straight away. And the game plan of what I did, playing out, then hitting, then he comes in, then he leaves a block, then we hit back is too thin, even though it happened. So my opponent was right. It's better to be lucky than good. How did I screw this up? So this is better than this. Pretty surprised about this one, to be honest, when we're not going for gammon, this score. It's like a double match point. I mean, this play wins 94.3% of games and this only 92.7. Even though this leaves double 6, double 5 bad straight away. Sorry, he's got 7 off. I mean, he's got 2 on the bar. Well, it just shows you when he's got a busted board, you always just leave them spread and take them off and just don't think too much. You'll hardly ever go wrong. What did I do wrong here? Sorry, on the last one I had the initial position. Yeah, that was right. Moving on. So, dumping was right. This play was too big, stepping up. I often make errors when so fearful of dumping, but sometimes it's right. I guess here you put the pressure on the block there and you don't step up on the firing line with everything for him hitting us. This was quite a big blunder. I could have hit on the outside with 18-15 and the ace point. I'm a bit surprised. And I guess it unstacks your 6 point, whereas my play burned the trigger from the. So what did I do? Let's have a look at the start over here. Wow. So I played this, which looks really pretty, and the right play is this. Guess you're putting a third man on the bar. Don't worry about his 4-point win when he's got 3 on the bar against your 2. You unstack the 6. Okay, I can see that now. And I was worried if I hit on the ace and e9, because on the 2, I don't want that check on the ace, but it's just better. Means more gammons and more games. Nice position. So here my clock was running out, and I decided to hit both men. Hit 6-1 again. So it really doesn't want at this score as well, where he needs 1 point to win. It's clear that the computer doesn't want him making his ace point, and it unstacks the 6. So the key theme here is, okay, if he's going to play a backgammon, we'd rather him have with a 4-point. Well, not usually not. The 2-4 game's very strong. The 3-4 game's very strong. The 1-4 is not. So I'm a bit surprised about this. I have to look at that a little bit more depth later. So I've got punished for three errors in a row. The same thing here I just covered. Again, if he rolls an ace, he's got the equity on the ace point for the whole game. So that every single time it's just like hit him off the ace, hit him off the ace, hit him off the ace. He gets all that equity there. And I think I was perturbed by scared off by his 4-point board, and I shouldn't have been. I should have read Mishy's book further. He says, we want to clear from the back, so prepare just straight away 6-3. It's interesting. I just took a man off, thinking there are no better numbers and we can clear it naturally the next time. It was a 0.1 error. It shouldn't very rarely make 0.1 errors in a bearoff. I guess we lose that spare on the 3. Better just to clear. And that was all, folks. So I'll probably spend a bit more. I rushed through it a little bit because there were so many errors. When I play a 9, 16 errors in a 7-point match. It wasn't even a long match. There were only five games, and I was on the bar for half of them. It's not really super duper. But I wanted to sort of go through them quickly so we get them all in. How long does this vlog take? And we'll find out. It's certainly under an hour, maybe 45 minutes. But I can study them and look at them in a bit more depth later. Anyway, sorry I didn't play great. I guess the motto is better to be lucky than good, but I'm going to work at trying to get good at both, lucky Jim and play well, unlike today. But I think there were some tough and really interesting positions, and hope you learned something, as did I. See you later.